video 2, we're going to be working on some application problems with solving a number problem and quadratics. Alright, among all pairs of numbers whose sum is 40, find a pair whose product is as large as possible. Okay, now, first things, there's a couple steps we want to go through. First, let's read the problem again. Among all pairs of numbers. So we know that we're talking about pairs. That means we're going to have two numbers. We also want to find, so we know their sum is 40, and we want to find their product is as large as possible. What's the maximum product? So we know we're trying to maximize problem. We want to maximize our product. All right, that's what we want to maximize. All right. Now, from here, so after reading it a couple times and figuring out what information we're given, we could go ahead and write a let statement because we're not given one. We could say let. So step 1, let statement. Write let statement. All right. Yeah.
What is a let statement?
A let statement is a statement that you use to define a variable. That's a great question.
You are welcome, Mrs. Smith.
All right, thank you, Kiana. All right, so we're going to say let x represent our first number. Or let x represent one number. Let y represent the other number. All right, now from here, using what's in the problem, we're going to set up a system. So step 2, we're going to set up a system and then use some substitution. It's going to look a little different than the systems you've set up before. So just remember, a system is just when you have 2 or more equations and 2 or more unknowns. So I know that the sum of these two numbers is 40. So I can say x plus y equals 40. I also want to maximize their product. So maybe I could say the product equals x times y, because you know we're multiplying the numbers to get the product. So P here represents our product. All right. After that, what we're going to do is we're going to try and put these two equations together using substitution. So I noticed that I have both x and y here and x and y here. So we're going to go ahead and use system for step 3. Use system to set up quadratic function, or to write a quadratic function. So now here I know I have x plus y equals 40 and p equals x times y. So let's go ahead and I'm going to solve this first equation for one of the variables. I'm going to go ahead and subtract x from both sides, and that'll give me y equals 40 minus x. With that 40 minus x, I'm going to go ahead and now in the other equation substitute 40 minus x in for y. That means that I'll have p equals x. Now instead of writing y, I'm going to write 40 minus x. Simplifying that, or using the distributive property, I'll get 40x minus x squared. And then from there, I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this in standard form. Negative x squared plus 40x. So now I know that p my product is equal to negative x squared plus 40x. So going back through the steps, we wrote our let statements, used what we knew in the problem to set up a system, used a little bit of substitution to get a function written in one variable. And now what we're going to do is go ahead and then find the vertex in order to maximize our product. So I'm going to do that on the back of the paper. So step 4. Find vertex. So give us our x and our y. So here we go. I know that p equals negative x squared plus 40x. Find the axis of symmetry. X equals negative b over 2a, or negative 40 over 2 times negative 1, which is negative 40 over negative 2, or 20. So I know that one of my numbers is 20. Let's plug it back in to find y. The only trick here is though that let's go back to the other equation where we had y. Before, our other equation was y equals 40 minus x. So I'm just going to go ahead and plug in 20 here. So I have y equals 20. So my vertex is 20, 20. And then we'll answer the question. All right. The two numbers are 20 and 20. Two numbers are 20 and 20. So this was the equation from before, from other side. Now I'm going to ask you guys to pause the video right now and try this next one as soon as you see it. Okay. Among all pairs of numbers whose sum is 8, find the pair whose product is as large as possible. Go ahead and check your work when you're done. Pause the video right now and then check your work in a second. So step 1, we'll let x represent one number. Let y represent the other. Okay, now I have here, I know their sum, x plus y, is 8. Their product of the two numbers would be x, y. Using substitution, let's get one of our variables by itself. So I'll say y equals 8 minus x if I subtract x from both sides. Let's plug it in now. We'll have p equals x times 8 minus x, which equals 8x minus x squared, or negative x squared plus 8x. So step 1. Here's step 2. Set up system. Step 3, we're going to use substitution to get our quadratic. And then step 4, we're going to maximize or minimize. In this case, they want a maximum. So now here, let's go ahead and do that. I have p equals negative x squared plus 8x. So I'll find the vertex. X equals negative b over 2a. It's negative 8 over 2 times negative 1. Negative 8 over negative 2, or 4. So I know my x value is 4. Next, to find my other number, I'm going to go ahead and use this equation from up here, because I still got to find y. That's my other number from my let statement. So I'll have x, or y, equals 8 minus x, or y equals 8 minus 4. So y is 4. Now, That means my two numbers are 4 and 4, so we'll answer the question. The two numbers are 4 and 4. Alright, concludes video 2.